What's good with it, Black Goose TV family, man? Double salute. As always, it's your boy, Fluence, back in the building on the Fluence Boxing side of the game. Not only is it Fluence Boxing, it's Friday, it's the weekend, you feel me? You see, I'm up close and personal. I got my face right there. So y'all can feel the energy, y'all can feel the vibes, y'all can feel the vibration. What's good with it, everybody, man? Salute, salute once again, man. Much love, man. Much appreciation, positivity, all that good stuff, man. Hopefully, y'all been enjoying y'all Friday. If you haven't been, I don't understand why you haven't because it's the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Turn up, good times, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But either way it goes, hopefully, if y'all jump up in here, man, if it is going bad for you when it comes to your Friday, hopefully it gets a little bit better. If it's going good, hopefully it gets great. And you know what I'm saying? If it's going great, hopefully it gets excellent. Either way, all I'm trying to do is send positivity, energy, good times, nothing but bless. Forget the stress. You already know what it is. And you know what I'm saying? Leave a mess. You know what I'm saying? We here for real, for real. I just want to double salute to everybody up out there. Much love to the Black Goose TV family as always, man. To the new, to the old. And of course, we keep it at 110%, not just 110% every single day, every single live, every single post. With that being said, man, if y'all come up in here, I don't care when you come up in here, man, please hit the like button down below, show some love, subscribe to the channel if you're not part of the family, notification gang if you don't know what's going on, hit the notification because you will know what's going on. And then, of course, if you come up here and you got something to say, you got something on your mind, you feel a certain type of way, go ahead, drop it in the comments, man. Go crazy with it. I ain't even tripping. Even at some point, I may even drop the link. Y'all can join in, do a debate panel, whatever the case may be. Y'all already know, though, at the end of the day, what we here for. I just want to talk my talk, walk my walk, and leave it at that. Nothing extra, nothing little, nothing in between. Just the real me influence boxing all day. So, once again, double salute to the people. Much love to the people, everybody up out there, man. We got an interesting topic to talk about tonight. Open-ended topic, really. I'm not, too crazy specific on what I'm saying, what I'm going to be speaking about, what I'm going to be focused on when it comes to the sport of boxing, because let's just be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be 100. Let's be 100. There's a reason why I put the title that I put down, right? There's a reason why. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into that. We are going to get into that. But I do want to start off this live with, so anyone who don't know, if you are a Black Goose TV family member, those who do, I stay in Memphis. And as y'all know, uh, big, big commotion off of, what's been going on in regards to the police and shooting when it comes to Memphis. So I'm saying this whole weekend, it's kind of on lockdown out here in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't even able to go to the gym because they closed early. Like, people were scared of riots, all types of things. Like, I just heard the police go by type. And that's not like big to hear the police, but I'm just saying, man, pray for your boy, pray for the city. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't expect much to happen because it seemed relatively chill all the way up to this point. But you know what I'm saying? Things start to get wild when it starts to get late in the night. So just pray for your boy, pray for the city. I don't know how crazy it's going to get, but hopefully it doesn't get too crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, blessings to that young man who lost his life. And, you know what I'm saying? Just try and keep positive, you know what I'm saying, through it all. You feel me? So I just wanted to let y'all know that right there. You know what I'm saying? Keep some people up in your prayers and hopefully things stay safe up out here. But now that being up out of the way, we're gonna get to the boxing, man. Boxing all night, like I said, it's Friday night, which is a good thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Nobody got to worry about work tomorrow. Some do, you know what I'm saying? There's a percentage, y'all got something, y'all don't maybe got the regular 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, man. Some of y'all got to work on Saturday, whatever the case may be. But for those of y'all who don't, for those of y'all who are able to stay up, do your thing, we're gonna have some fun tonight. I'm gonna be 100 too. I'm gonna give y'all an update because y'all know when we talking, man. Let's not get right into boxing. This whole entire channel ain't just about boxing. It's about y'all vibing with your boy, knowing what Fluence is about. You feel me? So what is Fluence about? So my plans is tomorrow because I've been contemplating. Y'all know, had long hair, don't care for a long time. You know what I'm saying? For a minute, y'all remember I was getting my shit braided, all types of things. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of, man, I got lazy with it. I let it go. So like, I'm really praying and hoping. It's like I'm almost positive this shit ain't locked up. It's just more so matted hair. So I'm about to wake up early as shit tomorrow and I'm gonna find a salon. I'm just gonna walk into it, find a black woman who ain't working on no one's hair. I'm gonna be like, baby, baby girl, what do I need to pay? Can you do anything with this? Like, can you save my hair and do something with it? Whether it be twists, whether it be braids, whatever the case may be, even if I gotta lose something, can you do something with this joint? If not, I'm gonna cut it, y'all. I'm gonna cut this joint off. I'm gonna go like I'm gonna go to the ball fade. Like this is how I'm gonna be looking if I do that. No hair. I'm just gonna be an oval face nigga. You know what I'm saying? I still got a good lineup, but y'all know what it is. But um yeah, so I'm just gonna wake up early tomorrow, find the not the nearest salon, but the earliest, like the salon that's open the earliest, because I want to get up at like 6 in the morning, 7, and just go up in there and just be like, baby, look, y'all can y'all fix this? Can y'all do anything? Can you braid it, twist it? Can you save this joint at all? Can you unmat it, blow dry it, go crazy with it? Can you? What I gotta pay? Let's do it. Because I don't want to let go of my hair yet, but I'm just kind of at the point where it's like I can't just keep letting my shit be on this shit. And if they be like, "Yo, we can't do it, it's too matted," or you know what I'm saying, I'm almost positive it's not dreading because I know what happens when it kind of starts dreading on its own. It's not easy for me to pull it apart in this type of way. It's like a little bit more locked, so I think my shit's more matted than anything. But either way it goes, I'm like, if they say either it's too matted for them to do nothing, or they did starting to dread and they can't do nothing, I'm gonna be like, all right, bet I appreciate your opinion. I'm going straight to the barber after that, and I'm chopping this shit off. It's gone. So y'all gonna see a whole new me if I do go live Saturday night. Haven't decided yet. But I'm kind of gonna gauge that off of, like I said, I'm in Memphis, so I'm gonna see how lit it was tonight. If people are acting like it's gonna be crazy tonight, if it's not that lit, I'm gonna go out tomorrow, so I won't be going live tomorrow night, but I will be going live as long as I can get my hair done, all that stuff in time for the Yard Beterbiev fight or Beterbiev fight, excuse me, which you guys see in the title below. But Sunday, you know, see me Sunday. I'll be a new man. I'll either have this shit either braided or dreaded, or it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone. Yeah. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it may be. Either way it goes, man. I'm just tired of shit. Man. I'm tired of just tired of it. That's a little look to my personal life right there. Just to let y'all know, you know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. And maybe I don't, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how much y'all been, part of the family, all that type of stuff, but sometimes I gotta release that, you know what I'm saying? Talk that shit, let y'all know what's going on. So I gotta speak into the atmosphere too, because I'm like, I can't keep like I gotta get this shit taken care of. So that's the plans for tomorrow. Probably gonna be a long day, but a good day though. Good day where we taking care of stuff, all that types of stuff. So once again, man, double salute to the people. Much love to the people, man. Love the family, love all y'all out there, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all come up in here now, tomorrow, the next day. Just hit the subscribe button, man. Be part of the family. Y'all really been feeling, I guess, these little streams I've been doing, man, off my phone, man. I'm not getting a lot of subscribers, nothing like that, but I'm getting some here and there. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I can't wait till I get my official setup. By the way, oh, let me give you another update too. For the crib. Remember, I told you I put in an offer for a crib that I saw. Turns out they was hiding some things, so it just came on the market. I went, looked at it, I loved it, put an offer in. And then my realtor ends up telling me a little bit later, well, this isn't fixed. This isn't fixed. We didn't know this beforehand. Do you want to keep the offer solid? When I found it, I said, nah, bro, nah. So still being patient. Don't want to be too patient. Yeah, I want to find the right thing, but I don't want it to be too right where I'm waiting too long. So, what I'm saying, just what I'm saying, either fingers crossed, pray for your boy, speak it into existence, whatever y'all believe into, believe in, man. Just what I'm saying, put the positivity out there for your boy Fluence and finding a new career. Because right now, man, it's looking scarce. It's looking scarce. I thought the inventory was going to be a little bit different. But unfortunately, it's not exactly where I wanted to be. But what I'm saying, I'm staying positive. Like I said, I got a lot of good things coming my way. So it's like when there's one fuck up or when there's one problem, you can't make it overrule everything that's going on in your life. That's good. That's a fact, 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 fact. So much love to that. So that's a update on the situation. What I'm saying? Y'all remember House Fire, homeless, still homeless to an extent, but we working, we moving, grooving. So let's get to it. This is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for like the last 2 or 3 days, right? And Tuesday was a Laker game. Wednesday, what I'm saying, Oscar De La Hoya had a announcement as if Javante Davis, first round Garcia would be announced soon. So of course I had to talk about that. Yesterday, Thursday, I just chilled for the night, man. I was tired type. I just wanted to kind of enjoy my night. Even though it didn't really go that way, women crazy, what I'm saying? They hitting my phone and talking crazy, trying to keep me up. But I was like, tonight, man, is the perfect night for me to talk about what I've been wanting to talk about. A topic that I feel like is something that a lot of people don't. Well, I guess it depends on what type of boxing fan you are or what type of boxing YouTube channel you are. But a lot of them, they don't want to touch on this because, you know what I'm saying, they want to make it seem there's always something going on in boxing. There's always something exciting to talk about. There's always something to pay attention to. There's always something to put, pinpoint, put your focus on. When in reality, man, it's just the media driving narratives and it's the media trying to get, a lot of the boxing fans focused on things and being hopeful about things. And that's really my personal opinion why boxing is being hurt so bad, not only by MMA, excuse me, but also by the YouTube boxing social media scene as well. Because for the long, well, I won't say for the longest. Obviously, there was a point when the best fought the best, but there was a long period of time where the best didn't fight the best. A lot of people would blame it on Al Heyman. Al Heyman he put more control or power into the fighters, where the fighters can make more money by fighting guys that didn't necessarily, they needed to fight. You know what I'm saying? Where they're not putting their record on the line. They're still able to be undefeated. They can fight. They can either choose to fight, the best in their division, or they can choose to fight the guy that's not the best in their division, and they'll still make the same amount of money. So a lot of people put that on Al Heyman. Some people don't. Some people don't put on Floyd, whatever the case may be. But you know, that's something that's been going on probably for the last 23, 24 plus years, right? And like we're at a point right now where we're kind of seeing in my personal opinion, a perfect representation of how us as boxing fans are hurting from not seeing fights that we want. But at the same time, we still support the sport to such a maximum level because, with social media, etc., becoming so popular, a lot of these YouTube channels and things like that, they keep a lot of these boxing fans engaged by rehashing content, rehashing fantasy fights. So, we're talking about Terrence Crawford or Spence all the time. We're talking about Gervonta Davis versus Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, fights that will never, ever happen. But, you know, it works for the channel. A lot of people are going to pop in. A lot of people are going to talk about it. So, I feel like social media has been a detriment to boxing, but at the same time, it's been a plus to the business of boxing. So what I mean by that is boxing fans have become so manipulated and so consumed by what if fights that they believe these fights are happening. And the reason why this is going on is because you have a lot of these channels always talking about the same fights that, who do you think is going to win? Who's going to think is going to win? But they're probably never going to get made, or we're a long time from it being made. But, you have people just so passionate about it. It keeps people drawn in. But then what's happening is hurting the quality of fighting, and it's only further supporting the original, I'm saying, basis that's been created that a lot of people blame on Floyd and Al Heyman, where these guys can get bags off of fighting guys they don't need to fight because we're so infatuated with, oh, what if Jamal Charlo fights Canelo? Who's going to win? And you're willing to go on debates, you're willing to go on channels and discuss this to exhaustion. But then, you know what I'm saying, the fight that's coming up, you got Beterbiev versus Yarde, and no one wants to really talk about that. Like, that is a problem that we're seeing, but it's a benefit to the boxing business, but it is it's not a benefit to a real boxing fan. But the thing that I'm finding as we continue to go on with these social media going strong and YouTube channels being able to create like inner circles within inner circles, and all the boxing fans for this particular fighter, you can watch my content, and et cetera, et cetera. It's like what's ended up happening is we're watering down the sport and we don't even realize it. Does that make sense? So what I mean by us watering down the sport and us not realizing it is, if we're so infatuated with what if fights, with fantasy fights, how are we going to be able to support the fights that are actually happening? So if we're not, and basically to bring that in full circle, if we're not supporting the fights that are actually happen, there's no need for the business of boxing to feel like they need to make the big fights, because they know, all right, these boxing fans, they're going to go on these YouTube channels and they're going to talk about Devin Haney versus Lomachenko, even though it's not made, or Devin Haney versus Deontay Wilder, even though there's no chance for this. And they're going to be so passionate about it. And this allows them to still be drawn into that particular fight that they're, that fighter that they're passionate about. So if I'm always wanting to see, okay, Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis is going to happen, we're going to talk about it. Guess what? Guess what? You're probably going to be more inclined to tune into a Devin Haney fighting a bum or Gervonta Davis fighting a bum. Why? Because first, in your mind, in your psyche, you've been talking about them two meeting, so you're going to believe every fight that they have is going to lead up to Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis. But that's not the case, and that's what people do not realize, and it's watering down the sport rather than not acknowledging that, saying, "I'm not going to talk about this shit. I'm not going to debate on a fight that's probably never going to happen. Let's talk about a fight that is going to happen, like Beterbiev versus Yarde, right? Let's talk about a fight that is going to happen. David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. Instead of doing that, like, no, I'd rather talk about David Benavidez versus Canelo, Caleb Plant versus Jamal Charlo. And it's like those fights are not happening. So what ends up happening, or what I see resulting from this, is that so many boxing fans aren't boxing fans. They're boxer fans. They're fans of boxers. They're fans of particular fighters. They're not fans of the actual sport. So they're willing to watch their favorite fighter fight somebody that they shouldn't be fighting, and their excuse would be, oh well, Canelo's ducking, or oh well, Jamal Charlo's ducking, oh well, this person's ducking because it's in support of their favorite fighter, right? Rather than supporting the actual sport. If you support the sport, you would not be able to, you won't go along with these boxing channels or willingly and and consistently promoting and talking about fantasy fights that will never happen. And a lot of people, this would hurt people's soul, because a lot of people, when they are the fan of a boxer rather than the boxing, they don't understand how they are hurting the sport, and they're actually contributing to the business of boxing. Because I found this correlation to be very interesting. A lot of these people who are fans of boxers, they're not fans of the business. So when you start talking about, well, this fight can't happen because of this, I don't care. I just want to see these guys fight. But in that same breath, when your favorite boxer is fighting nobody, you're like, well, he tried to get a fight, so this is what ends up happening. It's contradictory, and it doesn't work that way. But people are so deluded. People are so in love with all these YouTube boxing channels, thinking that a lot of these guys have inside scoops, and really they're just telling you what they think, and they have a following. It's became so just what's the word, diluted. It's ridiculous, right? And this is my personal opinion. You can't agree with me. That's fine. So ultimately, what is my basis? What is my standpoint? What evidence, or how will I back up my claim, excuse me, saying that 2023 is going to be one of the worst year for boxing fans? This is what I mean, right? I built the foundation. Now let's start on putting some good bones to the property, right, to the house. Like, let's build the walls, put the sheetrock in, all that good stuff. So let's think about 2023 as a whole when it comes to boxing. There's going to be some speculation to this, some what ifs, and some guarantees, right? Let's bring it all the way full circle, right? Let's not be just in one bag, right? Let's be in multiple bags, right? Multifaceted, right? Multi-talented, right? Let's think about the fights that are officially made that we are looking forward to as boxing fans. Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, right? And this is it. And also, let me clarify what I'm talking about. I'm talking about guys who have somewhat big names in boxing, but we're so used to them fighting lower level opposition, and all we want to do is see the best fight the best. So that's one. That's let me reference that, or let me kind of put this in a way where you guys understand exactly what I'm talking about. So Caleb Plant versus Benavidez, Beterbiev versus Yarde. Even though in the U.S., Beterbiev versus Yarde isn't something a lot of y'all are checking for, but this is a very good fight, right? What else do we have scheduled, right? I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. That's it. And I may be missing one or two, but that is literally it when we're talking about. And some people would say that Beterbiev versus Yarde is a wipeout. Some people are saying Yarde's going to get smoked. It's not even close. But to me, it's a lot closer than what it is. There may be some bias because I'm a big fan of Yarde, but if you want to talk about the whole year in totality, Davis versus Hector Luis Garcia, even though it wasn't necessarily close in skill, right? As some people would say, I think it was close in skill. It was a very competitive fight. This was Gervonta Davis taking, I won't say a super big risk, but it was some of a risk, even though Hector Luis Garcia was moving up in weight. It was still a good fight. So when you look at the boxing fights, right, that we're looking forward to, and it's supposed to be guaranteed that a high level opponent is fighting against opposition where there's a possibility. Are you going to win? Are you going to lose? We're going to find out how good you are. There's maybe 2 or 3 fights, right? Last year there was a whole lot. Now a lot of them ended up falling through. But there was still this excitement where you're like, oh, if this fight happens, right? So like for me, let's talk about the what ifs. Now, a what if fight is Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis. If that fight happened, okay. Oscar De La Hoya, I just did a live the other day. Oscar De La Hoya said, we should be announcing something, in the next couple of days. Well, it's Friday, 10 o'clock my time. Oscar De La Hoya ain't announced anything. But like I said, this is what ifs. Earl Spence, Keith Thurman, 154. That's still a what if. Okay? Even though a lot of people saying most likely it will get done. It's what if. Andrew Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder. So what if? Right? Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. That's a what if, right? What else are we missing? What else are we missing? We're not missing anything else. We're not missing anything else. And let me not be disrespectful. A very good fight that actually was made. Stephen Fulton, Naya Nayu. That's a great fight, right? But a lot of people, they don't pay too much attention to the smaller fights. It's not as a big deal. But I mean, the smaller weight class is not as a big deal. Even though a lot of people like Naya Nayu and not as many for Stephen Fulton, but it's being made. But when I discuss that, when I tell you what it is and I lay all that out, right? It's almost disheartening for what we can expect for this year, right? And one of the biggest things I do want to touch on too as well when it comes to this is I remember when Floyd was in his heyday, right? I remember when Floyd was even past his heyday, right? But he was still dominating pay-per-views, Money Floyd, all that good stuff. A lot of people blame Floyd for the lackluster uh, uh, expectations, or at the very least, the what was going on in the rest of the boxing world. It just didn't seem like there was a lot going on outside of Floyd because everyone was like, well, if you ain't doing what Floyd's doing, if you don't have the attention Floyd has, well, shit, we shouldn't really be paying attention. And Floyd got criticized a lot for it. Fast forward to today, Canelo is basically the new Floyd. I'm not saying Canelo was on his level as far as selling pay-per-views, etc., but Canelo is the face of boxing. I think it hurt boxing a lot. And you can blame this all if you want. You can put blame on Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions for fumbling the bag. You can put blame on Eddie Hearn for giving Canelo enough bag and enough freedom where you come to him, whatever the case may be. When Canelo moved over to the zone, that hurt boxing. Why did it hurt boxing? Oscar De La Hoya had a prominent position in the U.S. market, right? Eddie Hearn does not. So now, leading up to the face of boxing being Canelo, now what have we seen in the last 2-3 years of him being with the zone? Us being told he's the face of boxing, but yet being given fights that in reality we should not see. The biggest fight that he's had that can cross over the U.S. in the case when we were interested, it seemed like it was someone close, was against Caleb Plant, right? That was a one and done deal. Other than that, we've seen him fight guys over in the zone. He's just been fed to Colum Smith, what's the Rocky Fielding, like guys like this. Like it's like what are we watching, right? At the zone is feeding them, and it's like a lot of it. Like for me, at least for U.S. fans, it's like, are we still interested in this? This year, Canelo's going to be fighting John Ryder. I love Dimitri Bivol. I think Dimitri Bivol is amazing. Think about it. He fought Sergey Kovalev. He fought Dimitri Bivol. That's great for his legacy. But we U.S. fans are not interested in that. We want to see you fight the best at your division that you say you are fighting at. But rather than that, because we all know Eddie Hearn has trouble making any type of fight deals with PBC, and some will say, well, it's PBC who has any type of trouble making fight deals with anyone outside of PBC. Whatever the case may be, the move Canelo made to the zone really hurt boxing, because if you really look at this year, Cinco de Mayo, he's going to be fighting John Ryder in the UK. Then we're going to be talking about a rematch with Bivol. That's the face of boxing, people. That's the face of boxing that we're talking about. Fighting John Ryder in the UK and then probably fighting Bivol, maybe in the States, maybe. Let's see how that UK turn out. Let Canelo go over to the UK and Wembley Stadium, sell that thing out, fighting John Ryder. You don't think he'll be willing to go back to fight Bivol on that day? If someone were to tell me boxing in 2023 is at a high point, I would laugh at them. In my personal opinion, this is going to be one of the worst years in boxing as a boxing fan. I'm not talking about as a boxing fighter fan. That's why I laid out the foundation at the beginning of the stream. Majority of these boxing fans, majority of you guys who are watching boxing, majority of you guys who love boxing, you guys are fans of fighters, not the actual sport. So you guys aren't going to understand what I'm talking about. You guys aren't going to see where I'm coming from. Who I'm talking about, who I'm talking to, are boxing fans. Those who want to see the fights that need to be made, but they won't. You know, as of recently, we saw Tim Tszyu. He's fighting Tony Harrison. I give mad props to Tim Tszyu. I give mad props to Tim Tszyu for taking that fight, because he didn't have to. He could have easily waited for Jamel Charlo and chilled. Right? No one would have a problem with it. And I love Jamel. I don't think in any way, like, I think Jamel, legitimately injured. He sent out the X-rays. So, but he could, like Tim Tszyu, he could have waited for that fight, right? But he didn't. He said, okay, well, how can I stay busy? Who's there to keep me busy? Who's there that I can fight? That would, give me a high level fight, but also keep me ready for the Jamel Charlo fight. Because in a sense, we don't know when Jamel's going to be ready, right? Jamel may not be ready until early summer. That's a possibility. So if that's the case, now Tony Harrison puts his, hey, here's my name. You can fight me if you want. And for Tim Tszyu to just sign off on it and be like, hey, let's make that happen. That's mad respectful from Tim Tszyu. I don't care what happens in this fight. He could lose for all I care. We don't see that anymore. And a lot of people don't. You got to remember, Tim Tszyu, promotional company, etc. He's not that known. Tim Tszyu versus Jamel Charlo isn't really that big of a fight. If Tim Tszyu beats Tony Harrison, guess what that does to that fight? It amplifies it 10, 20, 50 times what it was before. So it's a calculated risk coming from Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu was like, okay, I can't get this fight with Jamel right now, even though it was scheduled, whether the wrist or the hand injury is real or not. Who can I fight that if I beat them, this fight goes from what it was to now being astronomically bigger? And he chose Tony Harrison, the guy who beat, or the guy who beat Jamel. It's a phenomenal move from him and his management, but you can tell he's not really controlled by the powers that be, because it's very risky. Tim Tszyu, as we know, I believe is Australian, whatever the case may be, overseas. Not Australian, excuse me, that's not what it is, but you know what I'm saying. So I think that's a very bold move. It allows us to do something to look forward to. I believe it's something that we need to see for more boxers. But I circle all this back to the reason why we don't see this from a lot of boxers, because like Tim Tszyu, he doesn't have a hardcore following, right? He hasn't really proven himself. We don't really know where he's at. You know what I'm saying? We know his father was a beast. We know he's done some amazing things, but we don't really know where he's at yet. Majority of these fighters have a cult following, not based off of what they've done, but because of they're connected to a certain YouTube channel where their name always comes up, and y'all can debate on it. Y'all can be passionate about it. Y'all just this and y'all that. And now we're in a position that we're in 2023, where I look at the upcoming fights and I say, what is going on? We're at the end of January. What major fight has happened in January that we can be proud of, other than Hector Luis versus Gervonta Davis card? Every other fight, it's like, what? When you look at February, there's not much going on in February. Of course, respectfully to Beterbiev versus Yarde, that is also happening in January, but a lot of U.S. fans will kind of lump that in the same thing. But you look at February, it's not really much happening in February. March. Hmm. Now, obviously, usually in boxing, once we get to that March area, we're going to start seeing more fights announced around summer, things like that. So I do expect Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz to get announced. Um, Earl Spence versus Keith Thurman is still slated for March, April area. It hasn't been signed on the dotted line. Some are even speculating they'll be the co-main event of Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia is speculated to be around April. We still haven't really heard that as a confirmation. Today was supposed to be the day that Oscar La Hoya alluded to a couple of days ago, that we would get the official announcements, well, official date. Well, if you're a salesman, you want to sell it. If it doesn't happen, what do you want to end up doing? Well, the hell with it. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what's going on with that? A lot of talking between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. I don't think they fight this at the end of the year. We still have Joe Joyce waiting in the ring. So it's like there's so much going on, but there's so little being done. If that makes sense. I remember last year, man, I was so excited for the summer of boxing. So many fire fights announced. And I would say maybe 60% of them actually ended up happening, which is a normal rate, in my opinion. As long as it's not 50, but sometimes it has been 50. But I think 60% of the fights that were announced the year before 2022, I was so ecstatic. Like, man, it's going to be a crazy year. And about 60% of them happened. If they didn't happen, there was controversy around it, kept you engaged. So last year, definitely, in my personal opinion, was a special year for boxing. Or should I say boxing fans? And you gotta look at it as a roller coaster. Look at it as the market, real estate, whatever the case may be. You have your ups and you have your downs. And I really do believe 2023 is going to be a down year for boxing, not in business, not in money being made, but people like myself who really enjoy boxing and who want to see some of these top level guys challenged. It doesn't have to be against another top level guy, but just put someone in place where it's like, okay, he's Hector Luis Garcia, Gervonta Davis type of time. You know what I'm saying? We will not see that this year. Like, for me personally, when I watch it closely, I'm like, okay, they don't have any big fights planned or announced. Obviously, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia are trying to get that done. We're going in February. They're supposed to get it done by, they're supposed to fight in April. We're on a close call. We'll see. I'm like, ultimately, we're in a weird spot. Like, I remember last year, going into the beginning of the year, all I did was big up 2022. I said, we got this fight, this fight, this fight, this fight, this guy fighting. Ultimately, to lead to this particular fight. Now, a lot of those fights didn't lead to the fight I thought it would happen, but the fights that I was looking forward to did happen. That's a big deal. When we're coming into this year and we have so many fights not announced, not made official, majority of them are hearsay. Oh, you should expect this fight to be announced. Like, come on. I'm not going to be so easily persuaded. I've been in the boxing game too long. Y'all niggas be trying to make us look stupid, feel stupid, all types of shit. I ain't with it. Hold on a second. Y'all got to use the bathroom. My bad, y'all. Happy Fridays to people. I was on one too. I was feeling a certain type of way about my topic, man. I noticed as of late, me the one, not being like super consistent with the streams, but kind of being like here and there with it. I noticed as of late, y'all be checking in with this shit later, like after the fact. So I'm cool with that. I gotta make sure I get my shit off so y'all know what I'm talking about. And then, by the way, I'm like, usually I got my second phone. I can look up stuff on that type. I think I left my second phone either in the whip or at work. I just didn't have it in me to go and check it. So I'm like, man, I'm doing everything off the top of the dome, man. It's just straight, you know what I'm saying, feeding y'all that energy. You know what I'm saying? But this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a minute, or at least for the past week, where an interesting question, like when it comes to Canelo, right? Supposed face of boxing. It's hard to argue that. His pay-per-views do numbers, right? He is the pay-per-view king still. Right? No one's doing more pay-per-view numbers in boxing than him. So that's something you can't deny, right? But and this goes back to a lot of people saying, "Oh, you got to put the blame on Floyd." Canelo can essentially fight somebody that a lot, and he's with the zone too. The zone isn't very honest with their pay-per-view numbers, so there's that too. So we don't know how many pay-per-views being sold. But let's say what they're saying is true. Canelo has been able to find and get himself within that little crevice, within that niche that Floyd was, where he may be fighting someone that's not too appealing or someone we don't want to see him fight, but he does numbers and makes a whole lot of money. Put this into perspective. Most likely, Canelo's going to be fighting John Ryder, right? There's a reason why Eddie Hearn has been stressing to get Canelo in the UK and to fight in the UK. Because Eddie Hearn has his fan base in the UK. So what Eddie Hearn did so brilliantly with Canelo, you're unhappy with Golden Boy, come over with us. We're going to pay you even more money. And we're going to let you have freedom. Canelo does that, sues Golden Boy, saying he's not letting him out of his contract. Most likely Eddie Hearn at the zone covered his fees, so he wouldn't lose anything. Obviously, now we see, the zone and Golden Boy Promotions having a co well, I don't know what the percentages are, but obviously, a joint, venture deal or whatever the case may be. Canelo was in a position where he's going to make guaranteed money, a certain amount of money, no matter what, plus pay-per-view points, plus this, plus etc. Eddie Hearn knows okay, I can build anyone to do anything in the UK in the sense of sell out arenas. Tevin Farmer was selling out arenas. Demetrius Andrade was selling out arenas in the UK because Eddie Hearn can build that. Also because the UK looks at boxing as one of the number one sports, right? It's like basketball to them. It's like football to us. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, if I could just get Canelo in that Wembley Stadium, we can sell like 80,000 seats, pay-per-views, US, all that. He knows the lucrativeness of this. And he's finally going to get that opportunity this year. And he's going to be with someone of a John Ryder. So just think, once Canelo feels that, once he sees that money, touches that paper, you think Canelo's going to want to fight anywhere else other than that Wembley Stadium, UK Stadium, even though he's a big fan, a boxing star in the US, he can fight at the MGM Grand, sell it out, have Las Vegas going crazy. Eddie Hearn is rubbing his hands like Birdman. Is this good for the sport? No. Same thing he said about Floyd. But at the very least, at least he kept it in-house. It was in the US. He was still fighting legends, even if they were washed or even if they were past their prime, whatever we want to argue. It was still US legends. Canelo is literally fighting people that majority of US boxing fans don't know. I know who John Ryder is. Should I know who he is? It depends on what you want to say, what you want to think. I knew who Bivol was. Should I know who Bivol is? Depends on who you're talking to. Bivol was a superior fighter, great fighter. But he's not even at Canelo's weight class. Why is he going to fight for another fight? He has people at his weight class that are known in the US that those fights should be happening, but they're not. They're not going to happen. They're not going to take place. And what's the reason for it to not? Like, why? If I'm Canelo, if I'm Eddie Hearn, why do we need to make a fight with the winner of David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant? What does that do for us? We can make more money fighting John Ryder in Wembley Stadium, sell out 80,000, have merchandise, etc., pay-per-view points. Why would I fight David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant winner? Why would I fight Jamal Charlo when I have Dimitri Bivol waiting, willing to come down to 168, or willing to rematch him at light heavyweight, and we can do it in the UK? Or we can even do it in the MGM Grand. We can do it in the T-Mobile Arena. We can still do that. We still have that option. I don't have to bend to your will, PBC. Because even though all the fans saying this is the fights I want to see, a lot of these fans don't realize they're the ones who actually pushed forward the agenda for Canelo to do what he's doing, for a lot of these fighters to do what he's doing. We're not seeing actual fights that we want to see take place. And people don't want to be honest with themselves. And it's no disrespect. It's the truth. You got to handle the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You can't handle it. You don't want to see that. Face of boxing, the biggest star of boxing, switches on a UK-based company. And he's fighting UK-based fighters. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of you American boxing fans, y'all know shit about UK, so you're like, y'all don't realize the magnitude of that. You don't understand the magnitude of what's been going on for the last 3 years of what Eddie Hearn has built with Canelo. All y'all talking about ducks. Shut up. Stop saying duck. You've been ducking niggas your whole life. Shut up. Probably ducking your own child. Shut up. You don't know what that is. But these YouTube channels got y'all gaslit. These YouTube channels got y'all opinion thinking it's more worthy than what it is. They talking about Canelo versus Jamal Charlo. Canelo's scared. Let me ask you something. You trained in something your entire life, and someone came and challenged you at it, would you be scared? And if you are, that tells me you ain't got no discipline because you ain't never did nothing in your life that you can feel confident behind. If you've done something, you've been good at it, the last thing you need is another motherfucker to tell you they better. You gonna be like, all right, let's what's up. So it's like that's why it's like boxing is so weird to me because like I'll look at like they'll have quick clips and Instagram and things like that, right? And like I saw there was a clip of Dimitri Bivol training, and you literally have people in the comments saying he need to work on his defense. Defense need to get better. Oh, that's sloppy footwork. It's like you have niggas who literally just be on the couch all day saying this is how your technique should be. Life is weird, bro. Like, what makes you think your opinion is valid? That's social media. I try to stay based. I try to stay level with it. I'm gonna have my opinion, but when you out here saying like, "Oh, this fighter need to keep his right hand up when he throws that left hook," like, shut up, shut up, shut up. I don't mean no disrespect. Maybe I do. Maybe I just don't care. Maybe I'm like, this is what it is. But just from my perspective, I remember at one point I thought boxing was gonna get better. I remember at one point I used to blame the fighters. I remember at one point, why are these fights happening now? I'm older and I see what's going on. And I understand boxing isn't getting better because the fans are getting worse. The diehard people who love boxing and appreciate boxing for what boxing is, they're dwindling away because you have these people who are in love with their favorite fighter. They're given a voice by these YouTube channels, and by being given a voice, they believe their voice is valid. So now you have a motherfucker who's only watched David Benavidez fights talk about how Demetrius Andrade is ducking him. Somebody who's only watched Jamal Charlo fights, oh, this is how Canelo's ducking him. And it's ignorance at its finest. But someone like myself, I can't get upset about that. Why? because this is how you create and generate money, keep a business afloat, and drive traffic. What is working? All right, I'm gonna post a video saying, yo, Terrence Crawford beats the shit out of Keith Thurman, but they're never gonna fight. Now you got Terrence Crawford fans in here talking this shit. You got Keith Thurman fans talking that shit. It's psychology 101. It's sales 102. It's how can I make you believe in something that you don't actually think is true, but you will be passionate about because I am touching something that is very important in your life. And a lot of y'all passionate about your favorite fighters. A lot of y'all are passionate about fighters that you feel are getting screwed over and niggas is ducking. Like, there's so many boxing fans that believe in the word ducking as if nigga that you training them. How can you say anybody is ducking anybody? You don't fucking know. Oh, I can say that because the contract was in his face and he didn't sign it. You telling me in your life experiences you never had a contract in your face that you agreed to prior, and when you read it, he was like, "No, I'm not signing this. I don't care about all that. I just want to see a fight." Well, see, if that's the case, that's why boxing is deteriorating. That's why boxing is not being able to uphold a standard that it needs to uphold on a consistent basis. That's why you look at 2022 as a great year, and right now you look at 2023 the way it's leading up. It's not going to be a great year. We're going to have maybe 3 or 4 major fights that we're going to really see certain fighters really put their limit, put their skill level to the test. This is why too, man. I constantly praise Anthony Joshua's because regardless of what Anthony Joshua's losses, you know what I'm saying, what people said he was gonna be and maybe didn't expect it. Like he always took that like when he lost, let's go get that smoke right back. Fuck that shit. I ain't gonna take a fight in between. Let's get the smoke right back. And for AJ, the magnitude of level he was in the UK, what people expected from him, you'll never see that from a US boxer. Never. Humble beginnings in the US is not humble beginnings in the UK. So look, I'm not gonna be too long winded on this topic. So I say all that to say this. Boxing is a beautiful sport. It's a craft that's very hard to learn. It's a craft that's very hard to perfect. And even to go an extra step, it's a craft that you can do it for the rest of your life, or at least for the majority of your prime, to make money. Sheesh. It take a toll on you like you paying the fare. You feel me? So I just got blessings, everyone, and I just hate it when I hear. I don't want to sound like an asshole or nothing, but you know, someone who has no discipline in their life. Like, yeah, they go to work to make good money. That's cool, but outside of that, what's your discipline? Have you ever tried to go to the gym and push yourself to damn near brink of death 5, 6 days out of the week? Probably not. So I'm like, yeah, you can compare your financial situation, but your mentality, you can never understand that because your mentality is always going to be of a what? Bitch, nigga. And what do I mean by saying that your mentality is going to be a bitch, nigga? Majority of you guys go to work, come home. What I got to do is figure out that and then rinse and repeat. Bitch, nigga. You don't never do nothing for yourself that's respectful. It's very rare you're going to find someone who's going to be willing to go to the gym, take care of themselves, push themselves to a brink where they finna feel like they can't do it no more, and then still come home and take care of this shit. You can't fathom something as simple as work, work out to the point where the intensity I can increase, go home, fix everything. If you can't comprehend that, then why are you speaking crazy about some of these fighters ducking? Because that's what they doing every day. They dedicate this life to this shit. You'll never understand. But it'd be the same nigga in the comments like, yo, when he throws that right hand, his left hand drops. That's mad predictable. I'd be able to catch him. It's like, man, people really are delusional in this world. And it hurts my heart, it hurts my soul, man, because, you know, face value is everything. Obviously, not all the time is going to give you the whole entire idea, but if you know discernment, if someone comes off a certain way the first time you meet them, whether it's telling you, yo, hold up, watch this person, or it's like, well, this is a cool motherfucker. it's most likely right. Everyone has their flaws, but I'm just saying, man, being fair in your assessment. Stop being so one-track mind when it comes to a lot of things. And I think that would be very beneficial because, you know, one size doesn't fit all, right? You have to have different sizes. You have to try it on. You have to figure out which one works the best, which one looks the best, etc. Same thing with this shit. One size don't fit all. You got to figure out what works the best, what looks the best, what's most beneficial to them, what's going to be most beneficial to us, and then we can try and put something together. It may not always be something that's absolutely, beautiful to look at, but it's something better than that, right? So I won't gonna be long-winded with that one, man. That was my case. I was pleading on 2023. You know what I'm saying? My personal opinion is gonna be one of the worst year in boxing. If I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong, man. Just drop the comments below and let me know. I won't be too long-winded on these other topics real quick. As we know, Adrien Broner has had a opponent switch. Um, again, originally he was supposed to fight Red Cash. He pulled out due to an undisclosed reason. Then he was supposed to fight Hank Lundy. Apparently, he ended up suffering a hand injury or something, and there was discrepancy with his person. And so he pulled out, and now we got a dude named Williams, 23 years old, never want to fight, but I really do hope that this fight ends up happening. And this is why. It doesn't have anything to do with Adrien Broner getting a W. It has everything to do with Adrien Broner having the possibility to fight again. If he doesn't get this fight, I don't see him ever being accepted by a church, anything, nothing. So it's very important, like, promptly let them know this is what the case is, right? We don't want to lose a deal, you know what I'm saying? Or you don't want to lose a deal just based off the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you wasn't able to communicate. So I got nothing but love for Adrien Broner, man. This is the third change of your opponent. I just hope everything goes through. Hope you stay solid. We're literally talking about what, 27? We're talking about maybe like a couple weeks away, maybe 3 weeks, a couple weeks away, maybe 3 weeks away from his debut. Like, you got to go hard, AB. Stay solid, stay up, stay 10 tones down. You feel me? I do. I got complete faith in him, man. You got niggas like Rolly Romero calling him out and stuff. Man, he been calling out the top level op, and he was calling kind of Ben, Kell Brook, all these niggas 2 years ago, and nobody went to fuck with him. Now all of a sudden, everybody love him. Now he the man. Now he the man on the block. So I just want to say salute to you, double salute, actually, Adrien Broner, nothing but love, man. Keep doing what the fuck you doing. But but not the least. Because we're not going to stay on too long. Because like I said, remember I told you, I'm waking up early as shit in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can get this shit something done with my hair. If I can't, I'm chopping that joint off. So I got to make sure I'm up early enough to make that happen. But anyways, damn, I forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, okay, that's it. Okay. So obviously we have Beterbiev, that's going to be Beterbiev versus Anthony Yarde. They had their weigh-ins today. I watched the face-offs between the weigh-ins. I actually went to play that. But I don't know where the fuck I put my other phone, so it's all good. But they did the weigh-ins, they did the face-off, and it was intense. You know what I'm saying? Beterbiev, he looked much bigger than Yarde, which is rare for Yarde. You know. Mm. I hate when I accidentally spill on myself. It's like the most annoying thing in the world. Mm. I see. I just spilled on myself. That's me spilling on myself. So we'll see daisies. But anyways, Beterbiev versus Yarde, man. A lot of people have Beterbiev just smoking Yarde, stopping him within 6 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever the case may be. Oh, if you got stopped by a jab from Kovalev, there's no way that you can survive Beterbiev. We all know if you watch that fight, it wasn't from the power, it wasn't from the perfect pinpoint shot. It was obviously because he was exhausted, as he emptied the take. Like his coach said, we went over this a million times. I'm not gonna repeat myself, but I'm really excited for this fight, man. I want to do everything I can to make sure I'm here to go live for it. 'Cause I won't be going live for tomorrow night. Like I said, man, my goal tomorrow is I'm gonna wake up early as fuck. I'm gonna go to a salon. I'm gonna see if they can do anything with my hair. If they can braid it, hopefully I can be back in time. If I can watch the fight, because right after I'll probably go to the workout in. So, everything's just kind of up in the air tomorrow. I really want to make sure I'm live for Yarde versus Beterbiev, excuse me. The way shit going, I'm like, who knows? So everything is up in the air right now, but Lions in the camp, Lions in the camp, Lions in the camp. All day. I'm rocking with Yarde. I'll never change. I'm a loyal nigga, loyal to a fault. I'm just 110% in with Yarde, man. I think he's really gonna shock the world tomorrow. I won't even cap, like, that's a big reason why I want to make sure I watch the fight, but they got to get this taken care of. So I hope everything runs smoothly. I hope everything goes smoothly. I enjoyed the live tonight, man. It's been a rarity. It's been a minute since for the live was just me talking. I really like this a lot. I really enjoy it a lot. I can't wait till I get to the point where I got my mic in front of me again. We got the visuals, we got the camera, because I'm telling you right now, the streams are gonna be crazy when I'm doing that. But we'll get to that point, man. I got a lot of blessings coming my way, so I just gotta make sure I return the favor, stay positive, not be on bullshit, and just show love. You know what I'm saying? So I love y'all. I appreciate you, BlakGooseTV family. I don't care if y'all coming here today, tomorrow, the next day, 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now. Hit the like button, show some love, subscribe to the channel, comment if you got something to say. Stay safe. You already know I'm in Memphis. It's supposed to be cracking tonight. You don't really seem like it's cracking, so that tells me tomorrow I'm probably gonna go out. But stay safe. Much love. Police pull you over. Keep your hands up. Don't get yourself in no bullshit. Double salute as always. You already know what it is. Your boy Fluence is out. I'm finna enjoy the rest of my Friday night, and I can't wait. And some good food. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Stay blessed, not stressed. You already know.